Kia ora, my name's Bridget Murphy. I'm with the Rangawahi Environmental Arts Centre. We're based here in the Northern Manawatu in New Zealand. We're an environmental arts centre that's set up to show people how they can grow or reuse resources, that we don't have to spend money and go and buy things to make things. To this end, we grow our own willow and repurpose a lot of materials. This is how we start the big girls. This will become their heads and all their limbs, and it all comes from growing your own. We started the Big Girls project back in 2009. I'd come back to New Zealand after living abroad for quite a number of years and been fortunate enough to travel to a lot of different countries. So when we came back to Palmerston North, we found that there was a lot more colour on the streets, a lot more diverse communities. And then in 2013, I met a lovely woman, Natalie Rias, who had come to Palmerston North from Colombia and was working at Te Manawa Museum. And I told her my dream was to be able to get all the big girls out for International Women's Day. So she was really important in making that happen. And last year I was lucky enough to get funding from UNESCO to take the project interregional, and that's how we broadened it out from Palmerston North to Pororua and Newtown this year in 2017.
So my name's Jacqueline Wilton. I am the manager of English Language Partners New Zealand's Aotearoa Centre. We work with adult refugees and migrants to assist them in learning the language skills that are necessary for successful resettlement through participation in society. Here today, REACT have come in to work with some of our female refugee background learners.
Looking lovely, isn't she? I got into puppetry and large structure building through protest in the UK, and then worked with Rise Phoenix around schools where we'd do giant day techniques, and that has been transferred to the Big Girls project. We take a bit longer than a day to make the Big Girls, but it's more about learning from each other and sharing cultural experiences and discussion as well as just the making process.
We'd love to have more workshops. It's something we're very big on, learning outside the classroom, we call it. It benefits the learners because it builds confidence. It gives them English language skills of process, participation, and it also makes them feel proud of who they are and their background identities, which is hugely important in successful resettlement.
Kia ora, I'm Alison. I'm a tutor for English Language Partners. These specialised ESOL literacy classes, a third of the classes usually can't read and write their own language.
Got to make bracelet, earrings.
Hello, my name's Aotearoa Rangitawa, and I've been here with the Big Girls with Bridget and Emma, working with the refugee women. I love it. Being amongst all the different cultures. I love hearing the different languages. I love hearing the singing, the laughing, but most of all I just love the fact that it's women and we're all working together. Scissors!
Hello, my name is Niang. Come from Myanmar. I'm learning English now. I am very happy in New Zealand.
It's been lovely to watch the 70-year-old come to life again, who's been struggling in English because of the trauma problems from her refugee experience, and the pride in being able to show their own cultures again too.
Save this! Hello, my name is Aisha from Syria. I am sewing address for wedding.
Hello. Thank you, darling. My husband have a job general in the police and killed. I'm afraid for me and for my children. The ISIS need killed to me because I have a job in the international airport. I'll take my children to the neighbor country, Syria, and stay 1 year. And the United Nations came to here 2008 because safe.
We have to put her.
We were really lucky to have Emma Goldnick with us. She is a puppeteer from Finland and was going to be in New Zealand and wrote to us before the project, and we said, come and help us if you want.
We made the head out of willow and then we covered it with tissue paper. We are making fingers. Instead of cutting each finger once, we make one long bit and we cut the fingers from that to make it faster. As I said, it's quite quick with these Colombians. They're very quick. When you work together and you're from different cultures and everything seems a bit strange, even for me, I'm from Finland and there are so many things that are different. Sometimes it feels like you can't get hold of anything, but working like this together, you see each other in a new light and you find the common something.
Personally, I think this kind of project is really important for a huge amount of reasons. To prove that tangata whenua welcome these women. It's really important that as women that we all can do something together. Even though we don't speak the same language, we kind of have the same commonality when we all get together.
Kia ora, my name's Janet and I'm one of the tutors here at English Language Partners, and we've had an amazing week, starting off from scratch, and now the big girl puppets are beginning to take shape, and it was exciting just to walk in before and see one of the Syrian ladies inside the big puppet and dancing around. I'm really inspired by this project and the many gifts that these women have to work together to produce such a great result.
Wonderful working with English Language Partners in Aotearoa and getting to work with Syrian women, Colombians and the Southeast Asians. Part of the Big Girls project is getting women involved, making their own representative. But the other side of it is once we go out for festivals or street gatherings and the women put the giant puppets on, and that's another whole sense of empowerment when they dance in the streets and nobody can see them, but they can be as free as they want. There's a real buzz being inside a big girl.
Yes, we did it!
I don't think I've ever seen anything so amazingly multicultural for Women's Day anywhere, even in the UK, which is a really multicultural society.
Innovative, absolutely great.
Fabulous.
Having done the workshops in conjunction with English Language Partners in Aotearoa, the Newtown workshops were a different kettle of fish. We had quite a different makeup of women. They were women who just come off the street because they were interested in being part of this process. Didn't necessarily want representation for themselves, but were more than happy to collaborate with others to aid them in creating their own big woman.
It's been great learning some new techniques and talking while doing. Yeah, it's fun.
Big Girl workshops in Newtown happened because we made links with the Newtown Festival organisers, and they shared a very similar outlook on welcoming people and celebration on the streets.
Well, thank you. Thank the Big Girls.
They had an empty shopfront in Newtown and said, come and do your workshops here.
We're really excited to have the Big Girls hosted here at Newtown Festival, and it's the first time they're in Wellington. I mean, Newtown's such a diverse community. It's brilliant having the Big Girls representing all those different cultures.
Specific mandate was to bring colour and activity to this corner of the main street. Well, it's more perfect than having this happen.
From what I heard, the process actually starts completely open-ended, and the group who are working on it decide what they're going to make and what it's going to look like. It's an exercise in communication, sharing ideas and coming together to have a result that you all contribute to. It's a really great process, the creative process, when you can work together as a team.
I'm learning off the pro here, and all these ladies here, we're learning together. And we're just putting some glue all over the frame.
But like any human, you've got kind of an undercoat. So it's kind of putting all your sinews together, your foundation, and then you're putting your skin colour on top of that.
It was fabulous seeing everybody's hands working together, which is how the Japanese and the Samoan women got to be represented as well.
Two local girls, Aki and Miki, who are Japanese, came to the workshop and they've drawn this traditional dress, and in it is the all-important bright pink flower that will go on the puppet.
Yeah, it is a bit pinata-like, isn't it? What do they use in the insides of pinata?
Lollies.
No.
So my name is Maribel Marquez. I call myself a Chiwi, Chilean Kiwi. Because I came out here when I was 2. I've got a distinctly Kiwi kind of approach on it. And I'm representing Mujeres en Aotearoa Mea, which is a Latin American women's group who get together to share our culture, to share our experiences as a migrant woman here in New Zealand.
Most of us, the ladies who've been involved in this project, we've been in Aotearoa for quite a long time. So it's very important for us to keep up our culture.
And we're all very busy women too, you know, mothers, students, teachers, all over the show. So we're here to represent ourselves in Wellington, which is quite a big community of Latin American people. That's why we're here, to represent, to have fun and to just enjoy and be represented.
Very excited! It's good to be at the Newtown Festival, and finally it's the day that we get to parade Moana and the other big girl puppets, and I think it's going to be really awesome.
So the big girls are really a conduit to conversation and understanding. Yes, it's a creative process, but it's when we get them out on the street and people can identify with them, or if they don't understand about them, they can ask about them, and that's when the barriers start getting broken down and the empowerment starts.
I think they look amazing. Beautiful women, inside and out.
Where do we go from here? I'd hope that women around the world could see this and think I can do this too. You may not have willow, but you might have wire, you might have some local resource. You can make your heads and your hands and your arms and limbs from those. Using old tubing and old fabric, you too can make a big girl representative for your streets and for your community.
It was good to put smiles on kids' faces and people giving high fives, and yeah, pretty awesome.
Oh, you look beautiful! Yay!